to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there. They'll go for two. They'll try and throw for it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with two PATs. They got the two-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
Fields this way up at the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 1st and 10, Herbert. And his throw here is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion. A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. Sliding it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Kyle Van Noy. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined that.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass. Yet they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that penalty.
Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And now off to the races down the right side. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And a special play there by the special teams. It's one thing to fake it. He ran it in for the score.
I think the special teams coach saw something on film in preparation for this game. Told the head coach, now's the time. He got the green light, and they worked it to perfection.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to lead his guys out there. They'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fields this way up at the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On first down, Justin Herbert. Short pass tip, but caught anyway. Now the Chargers hustling, trying to get up and get set. Herbert back to the air. Open man is Palmer. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. picked off by Nasir Adderley. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw here, Herbert. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
To the air again, Herbert. Throw left side is hauled in by Palmer. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Herbert now. Flush to his right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Eric Kendricks. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to John. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
and they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Cousins. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep.
And look at this, another fake. And he's not going to get to the marker. And that's a turnover on downs. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. It'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Eluding the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This from 54 yards away. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and they will remain 2 scores down as the difference holds at 11. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Kenneth Murray in there to drop him for a loss on the play. To throw, Cousins. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Cousins now from the 50. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Kenneth Murray able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. Defender was right there in his shorts. Is that one of those situations as a DB where you just tip your cap and say, nice catch?
Well, you're supposed to, but a true competitor, he's not tipping his cap at all. He's upset he still didn't make the play. If it's a 50-50 ball or a moment of truth, he's got to win more than his fair share of them as well.
Probably especially angry because if it was incomplete, it would have been 4th down.
Exactly. Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Johnny Mundt, a 12-yard touchdown grab, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there. They'll go for 2. Cousins again. And it's incomplete. But a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards from way up at the 23. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. L.A. readies for its next possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's caught right side by Palmer. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They go jet sweep here with Williams. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. Under pressure, and down he goes. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Cousins rolling to his left. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. A 1st down throw for Cousins. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Throw caught there by Osborne. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Vikings. K.J. Osborne. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. The partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Here we go now as they will again try for two. Throwing is Cousins. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Not much leg here. Fields this at the 24-yard line. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Chargers ready to take over. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On the screen, this is Eckler. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Herbert on 1st down now. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Again, Herbert, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. The 30, 10, 5, and they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that in a great play for that defensive unit. So the Vikings bringing the offense back onto the field. They'll go for 2 here. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And he's brought down. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is